Hello and welcome. This is going to be a 200 word per minute literary dictation, Gaining a Leash on Life, Part 14. And we will begin now. But this is more than a lesson on sense of touch. In order for Bud to enjoy the experience of being pet, he needs to be willing to risk having his underbelly exposed. He is vulnerable. Lying on his back would make it difficult for him to escape should he be attacked. Yet somehow he knows that for him to experience the touch he wants, he must risk being attacked or being hurt. He must risk being vulnerable. If Martin Buxbaum is correct and dogs do wag their tails with their hearts, then their willingness to be vulnerable extends well beyond their ability to expose their underbellies. They are also willing to share, to expose their hearts and their feelings. Risky? Just consider it. How risky is it for you to approach another and without any real assurance of acceptance or affirmation, share your feelings? How risky is it to truly wag that tail when it reveals what is inside rather than attempt to be coy? Sadly, the fear of being vulnerable, being unprotected and open to possible hurt, leads many of us to clothe ourselves in protective armor. Now, this is not to suggest we should become defenseless. Our four-legged friends know the difference between vulnerability as an opportunity to love, as opposed to when it is simply a silly, risky invitation to pain. No, vulnerability without discernment can be dangerous, but defensiveness without discernment can be life-robbing. When our defensive posture becomes an armor so impenetrable that it not only keeps hurt out, but also the joy of having our bellies rubbed by the one who loves us, then it is no longer healthy. Yes, to love and to be loved requires that we risk disappointment, rejection, hurt. But perhaps the truth be learned is to love and to be hurt often and to love again. That is the brave and happy life. To be real and to move away from the comfort of our artificial scripts, masks, and disguises is risky business. Being real exposes you. It makes you vulnerable to the pain of rejection. Do you remember the scene in The Wizard of Oz when Dorothy and friends stepped behind the great curtain to see the real wizard? The expression of terror, the sense of panic, the frantic attempt to regain his image was painful to watch. Yet it was only through this deep masking that this very isolated and lonely man was able to encounter real interactions with real love, as opposed to fear and false adulation to the man on the screen. Terror, yes, but only because he was unsure the acceptance that was to follow. Vulnerability opens us to discovery. Risking vulnerability invites you to unmask, and if you are unsure of what is to follow, this invitation may elicit the same sense of panic and the same frantic attempt to regain your image, exhibited by our grand wizard. But you need to believe that vulnerability also opens you to the experience of real love, and while it takes some braveness to be loving in this way, it is that which results in a happy life. So it is time to review your use of your protective coats. Time to risk the experience of vulnerability and time to come to know the joy that it can elicit. It is time to roll over, expose your underbelly to those you love, and experience the joy of a loving touch, a real connection. A Buddism, lessons on being vulnerable. When he has to, Bud, this 14-year-old SPCA special, can look and sound ferocious, but he's not. Thankfully, the neighbor's cat and unwanted door-to-door salespeople don't know that. Bud doesn't automatically bare his underbelly. He doesn't indiscriminately show his real, vulnerable self to all he encounters. No, for Bud, vulnerability is something he shares as a gift of love. It is his invitation to share and experience together. When was the last time you dropped your mask, your facade, your defenses, and let another experience the real you, the you of that moment? Has it been some time? Was it during a time of crisis when you were overwhelmed and unable to maintain the shield? Or have you used your ability to become vulnerable, both as a gift to another and an invitation to share, to experience you more deeply? It is this ability that we invite you to develop. Time to say thank you. Take some time to reflect on the special value another has in your life. Perhaps it is your parents, a significant other, a child or children, or a special friend. Really reflect on what he or she means to you and to your life. Now tell them. Write them a good old-fashioned letter, not an email or a voicemail or a Hallmark card. No, with pen and paper, in your best script, share with them the joy they bring you. Tell them the needs within you that they meet. Express how important and how valuable they are in your life. And yes, it is a risk. Telling another all of this certainly gives them power, but it is a power to love you more. So why be afraid? Time to step from behind the curtain. Unlike our grand wizard, don't wait to be discovered hiding behind that curtain or that mask. Don't wait isolated and alone, presenting to the world an artificial image. Stop waiting for a Dorothy to find you and free you from your isolation. Begin to share you. Share your ideas, even if they are not completely complementary or in agreement to others. Share your interests, especially those that you have held secret for too long. Share your dreams, even those that on first blush appear to be only found in Oz. Share these dreams and this you as a gift to those special others in your life. Share this unprotected you as an invitation to these special people to come to know you, to experience you, and to love you more fully. Okay, that's the end of part 14, and we will begin part 15 on the next video. See you there.